Hello, my name is Ash Taylor and I'll be talking about Assessment Task 3, Part 2, Supergraphic for Social Change. I am on Adobe InDesign because my InDesign will not let me export PDFs. Um, so, Stage 3, Design Development. My chosen refined sketch was the absolute too young to drink vodka, with the typography, do you want to damage your young body, as my social issue is underage drinking. And my location that I chose, which I talked about in the first part, was Plainwall Dan Murphy's in the Frankston area, as the Frankston area is very populated in underage drinking, youth crime, everything related to that. So I wanted somewhere where people would see quite often to come across that message. Development work, so my graphic was, I wanted to use Posca pens because I feel like they were really bright, fun to use, and really show that glass look that I wanted to show and make it pop out. So started with the outline and just created that glass effect. I added in the typography of Absolute Vodka. It's a very well-known vodka brand that a lot of young people tend to go towards, as it is the cheap option. So I chose to write Absolute Too Young to Drink Vodka, and then just added in the imported 40% alcohol, all of that at the bottom. Development work with my typography, so I drew what I wanted to have for my typography with the Posca pens again, and then I went into Adobe Illustrator, I'm pretty sure it was, and I filled in actually the white area with white line just to make it pop even more, and started to do that to all of the letters, which I think I was quite happy with. Then I went into Adobe Photoshop and took all the different parts and added it to the wall, but I wasn't quite happy with it because it didn't look like it belonged on the wall, so I used the warp tool to try and create that warp effect, and then it doesn't look too different, but it does, I think it fits in well. So my next step was I warped, which I didn't take a screenshot, but I warped the vodka bottle so then it will fit on the wall well. And again, use the quick selection tool on Adobe Photoshop to select the whole bottle. And then I added that onto the wall and was quite happy with it. So I think it does look pretty good and I was quite happy with it. So this is my final piece. And then the final reflection statement. So how do you believe Supergraphic would inform my social change, so my underage drinking? I think my use of like the graphic with the vodka and the using Absolute Vodka, as I said before, because the younger people that I'm trying to target always gravitate towards Absolute Vodka, as it is a cheaper option. So I think using that straight away already draws them in and grabs their attention. And then just adding the little, kind of smarter comment in there, Absolute too young to drink. But obviously getting that message across. And then I think my typography was good because it was really bold, really big, and I think a good harsh message that I wanted the young people to really get in their head about damaging their young bodies. So I think the relation of both the typography and the graphic worked really well together. I enjoyed the development of creating the graphic and the typography. I really like hands-on work, so I liked this assessment and how that I was able to use my skills through that. Um, where I don't usually use Poscas, but I thought it was really fun to go out of my comfort zone and create new looks, textures like the glass effect through Poscas. That was really fun. And then yeah, just going into Adobe softwares and refining it a bit more. The difficulties I experienced, I mean, like, I found it really fun creating um, that glass look with the Poscas, but it was a lot harder than, say, using, an app like Procreate, using pencils. Like, I'm quite good at creating that shading effect on pencils, whereas the Posca pens was a bit harder, but I, kept developing it and kept working on it, which was really good. And then I found it a bit hard to find when it came to part one, find a good location and different spots. But, I think that location that I chose just really, you know, brings that message across really well because it's right near the Dan Murphys. Um, my critiques, I am quite happy with it. Like, I think it gives a message quite strongly, firmly, but also like with my graphic drawing, it brings in people straight away. Like, I think if there was just typography, people would not, gravitate towards it. But I do think I could have maybe developed my typography a bit more, maybe tried some different fonts, tried different sizing, positioning, um, maybe, yeah. But I do, again, going back, I do like how I boldly emphasized the words like you, your, damage, young, kind of, really emphasize those words just to really get that point across. But I feel like I could have done it in maybe different ways. And if I could redo any of it, yeah, again, with my typography, I'd probably develop it a bit more, maybe change it. I'm quite happy with the bottle and the idea with that, but yeah, I just think the typography could be maybe slightly different, but overall I am quite happy with it. So yeah, and that's all from me. Thank you.